The Indian Air Force on December 29 successfully fired the extended-range version of Brahmos air-launched missile against a ship target from a Su-30 Mki aircraft. The missile achieved the desired mission objectives in the Bay of Bengal region. With this, IAF has achieved a significant capability boost to carry out precision strikes from Su-30 Mki aircraft against land/sea targets over very long ranges. The extended range capability of the missile coupled with the high performance of the Su-30 Mki aircraft gives the IAF a strategic reach and allows it to dominate the future battlefields. The dedicated and synergetic efforts of the IAF, Indian Navy, DRDO, BAPL, and HAL have been instrumental in achieving this feat, the IAF stated. According to the media, Russia fired more than 120 missiles at cities across Ukraine. Russia fired more than 120 missiles at cities across Ukraine on Thursday, media reported Ukrainian presidential advisor Mykhailo Podolyak. The attack reportedly has damaged homes, as well as playgrounds, according to the Kyiv City Military Administration. As officials reported missile attacks and the activation of air defense systems in a number of locations, including Kyiv, Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, Zhytomyr, and Poltava, air raid sirens could be heard throughout Ukraine on Thursday morning, media reported. 2 private houses in Darnitsky district were damaged by the fragments of the downed missiles. An industrial enterprise in Holosivsky district and a playground in Pechersky district were also damaged, the administration said on Telegram. Before the Russian strikes, Mayor Vitaly Klitschko of Kyiv warned the locals about potential power and water shortages. According to Ukrainian officials, air defense systems were turned on all over Ukraine on Thursday morning after Russia launched more than 120 missiles against a variety of locations. Lviv Mayor Andriy Sadovyi said 90% of the western city is without power and warned of water disruptions due to Russian attacks Thursday, media reported. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko of Kyiv, the country's capital, has previously alerted locals to the potential power and water shortages following the Russian strikes. According to Ukrainian officials, more than 120 missiles were fired by Russia towards several locations on Thursday morning, prompting the activation of air defense systems throughout the country. A Russian Tu-4 Tyolpan 240mm self-propelled heavy mortar appears to have been destroyed by bomb drops silently from above dispatched by a Ukrainian drone. According to Militarny, a drone dropped a bomb straight into the self-propelled mortar's open hatch. The images, believed to have been filmed somewhere on the front lines, show Burns' Tyolpan mortar carrier hiding between trees. The footage has not yet been verified and the location is currently unconfirmed. The Tu-4 Tyolpan is a Soviet-era gigantic 240mm mortar that has no equivalent in Western militaries. It is the largest mortar system in use today. The Tu-4 fires all ranges of mines, developed for the M240, including a high-explosive, HE, anti-armor and chemical. A standard HE shell weighs 130 kilograms and has a maximum range of 9.6 kilometers. The maximum range of fire is 19 kilometers with rocket-assisted shells. The Tu-4 is capable of firing laser-guided munitions. Originally, the Tyolpan was also capable of firing ZBV-4 shells with nuclear warheads. These also had a range of 9.6 kilometers and 19 kilometers with rocket assistance and were designed to destroy cities. The Tu-4 was developed in the early 1970s by the Ural Transmash Works, with the 240mm 2B8 mortar system being developed by the Perm Machine Construction Works. The Tu-4 was used by the Russian army during combat in Chechnya and is currently deployed to Ukraine. The Chinese aircraft carrier Liaoning made a rare approach to the U.S. island territory of Guam in what a Chinese newspaper interpreted as a warning to the U.S. over Taiwan. The Liaoning and its escorting vessels have been conducting drills in the West Pacific since mid-December, when Japan announced its new security strategy that named China as an unprecedented strategic challenge. The Japanese Ministry of Defense's Joint Staff Office said in a statement on Wednesday that during 10 days from December 17 to December 27, Chinese carrier-based aircraft conducted a total of about 260 takeoffs and landings, prompting Japan to scramble military aircraft and vessels. The Chinese fleet, consisting of the Liaoning, one Type 055 large missile destroyer and a number of other vessels, was sailing near the remote Okinawa Prefecture islands of Okudaido and Kitadaido, but also near Okinotorishima, the southernmost part of Japan. The statement said on December 25 the Liaoning was spotted 670 kilometers, 416 miles, southeast of Okinotorishima, about 618 kilometers, 384 miles, northwest of Guam, before returning to the waters between Taiwan and Japan. Guam is home to two key U.S. military bases hosting strategic bombers and submarines. By approaching Guam, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has extended its reach well beyond the so-called First Island Chain onto the Second Island Chain. The First Island Chain is a chain of main archipelagos surrounding the East Asian continental mainland, including Japan and Taiwan. Berlin, December 30. Reuters, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg called on NATO member states to supply more weapons to Ukraine, according to an interview published on Friday. "I call on allies to do more. It is in all our security interests to make sure Ukraine prevails and Russian President Vladimir Putin does not win," Stoltenberg told German news agency DPA. He said it was perhaps even more important that Ukraine receive enough ammunition for the systems already in place, adding that the need for ammunition and spare parts was enormous. Last week, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, in an address to a group of Western leaders, asked for a wide range of weapons and air defense systems to help efforts to counter the Russian invasion. Also, the United States last week announced nearly $2 billion in additional military aid, including the Patriot air defense system, which offers protection against aircraft, cruise, and ballistic missiles. NATO's Stoltenberg told DPA that military support for Ukraine was the fastest way to peace. "We know that most wars end at the negotiating table, probably this war too, but we know that what Ukraine can achieve in these negotiations depends inextricably on the military situation," he said. Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24 in what Putin calls a special military operation against what he perceives as threats to Russian security. Ukraine and its Western allies have denounced Russia's actions as an imperialist-style land grab and imposed sanctions to try to disrupt the campaign. The 11-month war has killed tens of thousands of people, driven millions from their homes, left cities in ruins and shaken the global economy, driving up energy and food prices.